Why everything is nostalgia. Maddie's Balls. Pause. That's a crazy name. I don't know about y'all, but we live in a time period where apparently everybody want to just be, you know what I'm saying, back in 2016. I personally, I think 2016 was a good year, but 2016 was not 2018. But let's tap in. Let's see why everything is nostalgia now, guys.
Nostalgia is defined as a sentimental longing or wistful affection for the past, typically for a specific period, place, or happy association. And it feels like everywhere you look in the entertainment industry, everything is nostalgia. With music, you have big artists repeatedly interpolating past hits. With movies and TV, you have a never-ending cycle of reboots or sequels, milking every successful series to death. With video games, you got things like Call of Duty Black Ops 7, whose main marketing strategy is that they reused or brought back a ton of the stuff from fan favorite game Black Ops 2. And all of this is typically referred to as nostalgia baiting. Nostalgia baiting is a marketing strategy that uses nostalgia of previously beloved things to sell products or media to people who want to have that feeling again. Rather than trying to put a creative spin on something old, people are instead just recycling things we used to love. This strategy is pretty popular right now and is a little problematic for a couple of reasons. But it leaves me with a few questions like, why are we so fascinated with nostalgic things in the first place?
I believe we're so we're so in tune with like nostalgic things, or wanting things to be nostalgic, or wanting to just go back into the past, because not to be a Debbie Downer, but everything in this current time period just fucking point blank sucks. There seems to be like a lack of creativity that there once was in the world, which is crazy, because if you look out into like social media and the aspect of being online, there's more, it seems to be more creators than there has ever been before. But the quality of creators is what's, I believe, is what's lacking. So he touched on a few things, but there's nostalgia in TV shows, the music, video games, even something as simple something as simple as restaurant designs. Like remember when fucking Wendy's used to be fucking yellow instead of just monotone red and white? Like a lot of shit is just it's changed, but it didn't change for the better. It changed for the worse. And whenever things change for the worse, it just seems like other people will be like, damn, I wish this was how it was back then, because it was good. That was not just the thing was good, but the time period was good. The era was good. The people were good. The energy was good. The environment was good. Now everything sucks. And it's just like, I feel like we know this, but we're just like choosing to live in it and choosing to just cling on to the nostalgia, as opposed to making a new, let's make a new nostalgia. Let's go all in on a new era of time where we just appreciate everything that's in front of us right now, as opposed to just clinging on to the past because our current present sucks like shit.
Why does nostalgia bait work so well, and why is it a problem? But first, a quick message from the sponsor of today's video.
Yes, sir. Get your money, brother.
Overdraft fee. Issues with your money. Well, first of all, nostalgia is nothing new, but I've definitely noticed this big infatuation with nostalgic things, especially among my generation, which is Gen Z, and I think that's for a couple of reasons. First of all, if you're in my generation, or maybe even not, you still may have seen TikToks or videos like these.
It's just like shit was vibes back then, and I hate to use that. Like I'm not trying to be no fucking LA white woman, but it's just like the vibes of the time period. It wasn't just, oh, we're creating commercials, we're creating shows, we're creating products just to try to fucking boost consumerism. Consumerism, that word be kicking my ass. We're not trying to boost consumerism and just sell you shit back to back to back to back. Like, it's just like a lot of the things you see on TV is not for, like, where they're not making shit just for good fortune anymore. It's not that. They're creating these shows, these items, these systems, these corporations, these companies. They're just creating shit to just sell you shit, to package shit, just so you can buy more shit. Back then, it wasn't, maybe it was something that was as big as it is today, but us being young, we never paid no attention to it because we had shit like fucking Disney Channel, where the shows were actually fucking good and not push a agenda where a they/them has to be the main character. Like it was a time to be. It was a time to grow up where you could just fucking watch a show and not have to fucking worry about underlying messages or underlying themes that just want to carry the fucking message of the world that we currently going through now. Like,
I've also seen a ton of viral recordings of people's high school days in the 90s or the 2000s, where people are romanticizing the good old days.
Ball player.
Thanks a lot, appreciate it. Just tell the truth right here. Just guys tell the truth.
Since middle school, always blowing it up.
see, and this is back when people looked like people. This wasn't no fucking, you ain't got to go to fucking school with no alpha fucking male chads talking about fucking looks maxing, talking about fucking career maxing. Like, this is when people was just living. Like, people were being real, genuine, authentic people. That's the nostalgia. That's what the people are attached to. Life used to be so fucking authentic, and now it's just like this fucking fabricated simulation that's just forcing you to get with the program or just get left behind. And it sucks that that's the reality, and I'm sure that we're aware, like a large portion of the population is aware that this is our new reality, but are we doing anything to change it? Fuck no.
Taking incredible shots. Take me one-on-one to my ass.
I mean, the top comment on this video is the way they dressed, the way they talked, the way they acted, the way their hair looked, all so different from now. Everyone seemed a lot nicer and healthier without social media. This isn't an entirely new thing though. As Vice said, modern technology has just sped up the process. However, Gen Z is statistically the most nostalgic generation, with 15% feeling that they'd prefer to think about the past rather than the future, with millennials being at 14%.
Because this, like, the sad reality is, what is the future? Like, what is the future? What is there to look forward to? I remember when we were young, we were looking forward to being adults because the adults that were living their adult life back then had it so fucking easy. Like, it wasn't this complex thing. It wasn't this, you know what I'm saying, you gotta fucking work your ass off. No, nigga, it was back in the day, they had fucking dads who had a fucking family of 4 to 5 people, and he was paying every single bill. Like how we can't do that nowadays. Everybody's just so on edge. Everybody's so stressed out. Everybody's worried about bills and bill collectors. Everybody's just trying to stay afloat and not feel fucking left behind or fucking feel like we on a fast track to becoming homeless because we can't afford our rent, because jobs aren't hiring, because jobs aren't paying enough. You know what I'm saying? There's so many things to worry about today that our generation are just like, we like, there's no future really for all of us that even look forward to. That's why we dwell on the past.
GWI attributes this to a variety of things. For example, people struggling to find jobs, especially post-pandemic. I think the pandemic in general has created a lot of problems, and right now people are dealing with a poor economy and all these other things. I don't think I really need to dive super deep into why people are feeling so discouraged right now. I've talked about a lot of these themes in recent videos, so I'm not going to go too deep into it, but just know, if you're not aware already, that a lot of people, even older generations, but especially the younger ones, are feeling pretty discouraged when it comes to the future. There's also a feeling nostalgic for things that remind you of your past on a day-to-day basis, like smelling a certain smell or seeing something from when you were a kid, and that's okay too. However, I think the nostalgia for 2016 is the perfect example of why so many people feel nostalgic these days. Many of us, especially in my generation, were still in school and enjoying our youth, whether that be hanging out with friends all the time, partying, or doing whatever kids do. So 10 years later in 2026, and people are still talking about what a great year 2016 was. The music, the memes, the games, like Pokemon Go, the mannequin challenge, and all these other things were great. But what a lot of us younger people didn't really notice or pay too much attention to was that the adult world around us was falling apart. News of it being the hottest year ever recorded had people very worried about global warming and climate change. David Bowie, Prince, and Muhammad Ali died. Trump was elected. There was terrorist attacks and shootings, and most tragically of all, Harambe was shot and killed. In fact, 2016 was so bad that there was a handful of articles calling it a terrible year. And let's be real here, has it ever felt like, broadly speaking, not necessarily in your personal life, but in the general world, has it ever felt like every year it just gets worse and worse? Well, this isn't necessarily a new phenomena. As you grow up and become more aware of the world around you, you notice more and you start paying attention to the news and politics, and things start to seem grim. But guess what? The world has always been bad. There was the plague, there was the Holocaust, there was the year without a summer. There have been terrible things forever. Now,
And that's 100% true. 100% true. The world in theory has always been bad. There will always be a bad time. But the difference between today's world and yesteryear's world, the world of the past, was there was always a combative balance where, yes, some shit is ultimately shitty, but you also have things to look forward to. Like you had friends, you had family, you had fucking events, you had fucking TV shows, you had video games. Like the quality of everything that was good was as equally as impactful as the fucked up shit that was going on in the world. And granted, in 2016 I was 16, so I still don't watch the news to this day because I don't give a fuck about the news. All it does is just fear monger and people. Some people may say you need to be informed about what's going on. Man, as far as I'm concerned, whatever's going on in the news does not affect my day-to-day life unless it has something to do with my direct job. Until then, I will not be watching the news. Shit is stupid. Anyways, I will say though, like I spoke on that combative balance where there was like a push and pull. There were pros and cons to living. Like obviously there's fucked up shit going around in every corner of the world. Are we aware of it? No. Some of it, yes. But it's just like now it's just everything is just the bad is piling on top of each other. You know what I'm saying? Like niggas can't afford to live in a house. Niggas can't afford to put gas in their car. Niggas can't afford to put groceries in the fridge. It's just like niggas can't afford to fucking have a pot to piss in without feeling like I'm being overly charged for it. It's just we're I don't know why life is heading down the trajectory. Like I don't know why. Maybe if I watch the news I'll be more informed as to why. But you know, it's just crazy how we seem willingly we seem like we're willingly accepting this as the future. Like not everybody, but a majority of the people are just willing to accept this reality. Like we don't wake up mad enough. We don't wake up angry enough. Like how the people were back then. Back then, when some shit was fucked up, you know what they did? They fucking protested. Like back then, you know, when shit wasn't right or people was getting overworked or overslaved, Americans didn't hesitate to shut shit down. Like niggas back then in the day in the 1942s and 1950s was the Boston Tea Party. Them motherfuckers was so fed up that they were throwing barrels of tea in the fucking water. They were like, imagine being that mad that you gotta throw heavy ass barrels in the water to get what you want. That type of anger doesn't exist anymore. That type of passion for a productive way of living doesn't exist anymore. We're so willing to just give in and just concede with the oh, okay, I got a job where I can work fucking 45 to 50 hours a week and I'm enslaving myself for minimum wage, but as long as I got TikTok, I'm okay. As long as I got IG, I'm okay. As long as I can go out to the occasional nice restaurant fucking once every 6 months, I think I'll be okay with that. And it's just like that shit it never sits right in my soul. Like I wake up every day and it's just like, oh, I question, like, are there niggas around the world that are as mad as me that we gotta put up with this bullshit? Like, are there? Because you look around, a lot of people seem to be happy. They seem to be content. Well, even if they're not happy, they're content. They seem to be like, okay, I can do another 80 years in fucking earth hell. No, not me, Genga Lynch, not me.
Don't get me wrong, I do think to a degree there's a level of the world getting worse that we haven't quite seen before, like the control of technology in the government or social media, AI, and all of these new problems we are experiencing. So in that sense, I will agree, I do think we're a little bit worse off than before. But I also think a major part of nostalgia is the rose-tinted glasses that we look at the past through. The world isn't all of a sudden bad. It's bad now, it was bad in 2016, and it's been bad forever. My point is, nostalgia tends to remove remove the bad things from our memory and we focus on the positives. This doesn't actually happen to everyone. In fact, it's called rosy retrospection, and some people don't.
Wait, sidebar, right? Because he's showing this like vintage clips of like people playing Halo and video games and shit like that. One of the experiences that I feel as though I was robbed at is people don't give a fuck about GameStop anymore. Like, people don't give a fuck about, you know what I'm saying, midnight releases. That's one thing I low-key, like, because I'm a gamer. Like, I'm a gamer at heart. I will always be a gamer. Do I play as much as I want to? No, I can't. Can't fucking afford it. Time is expensive. Fuck you want me to do? But that's one thing that I was always looking forward to coming up, was being an adult, being able to fucking camp the midnight releases with my friends, with my son, like my future children. Like, if my future children were gamers, that's something that I always wanted to experience with, you know what I'm saying, with other people, you know what I'm saying, my people at my grown adult age. Now, like, it's just like we're being forced to not, like, we don't even have the option to give a fuck about those things, because one, like, they'll say now, quote unquote, as a grown ass man, you camping out for a game knowing you got work the next morning. How do you justify that? How do you justify that? Like, honestly, I can't justify spending large amounts of time to places that don't benefit me, knowing that I have to prioritize I have to be smart with my time. I have to prioritize other things over just, you know what I'm saying, being able to just camp out for a midnight release, for a Call of Duty, for a GTA. Like, when GTA fucking 6 come out, brother, I think that's going to be one of the things that, like, restores the world. Like, that's going to shut down the economy, because a lot of people are going to be indoors. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are going to be indoors, getting back to our roots, getting back to just fucking engaging in an experience that, you know what I'm saying, that is going to be nostalgic for us. Like, even if you're not a heavy gamer, you know what Grand Theft Auto is. You know what GTA 6 is. And GTA 6 is going to be important to the world. I'm believing that now. I'm going to throw my fucking token in a hat, and I'm going to say GTA 6 may be one of the things that can possibly restore the world. It's crazy to think that, like, you got to leave that up to a video game to bring fucking humanity back. To bring back faith in humanity. It's crazy.
Do this, which is probably why I'll get comments saying, I always hated 2016, I just knew it sucked. Unlike everyone else, they're so stupid. There's also a lot of recency bias when it comes to being negative. The human brain possesses a natural bias to prioritize negative information. We must consider potential dangers and plan to protect ourselves and our families effectively. That's why in the moment, something may feel pretty negative, or it may weigh on you a lot, but when you look back at it a couple years later, you're not going to really remember that. And thanks to social media, things also seem a lot worse today than before. I'm saying all of this to say, this is why escaping back into the past through nostalgic thoughts or nostalgic pictures or videos can often make you feel better. Some research even suggests that people often get nostalgic when they're feeling negative emotions or when they're lonely. This is most likely why so many people, especially in Gen Z, have been glamorizing nostalgia online or making things like 2000 school nostalgia videos. I mean, let's be real here, watching these videos is all fun and dandy, but a lot of us probably didn't love being in school when we were kids. Regardless, nostalgia is trendy, that's a fact. And the suits and the corporations out there have noticed it, and they have most definitely been taking advantage of it. In general, I think nostalgia baiting is usually a bad thing. I mean, even I kind of do it sometimes when I do videos like What Happened to Vivo, or videos revisiting cultural phenomena of the past. I find it fun to kind of reminisce about the past, and clearly viewers of these videos do as well. So in that sense, I think it's fine. It's one thing when people who are genuinely nostalgic about something want to reminisce about it with others, but where it becomes a little problematic or obnoxious is when it becomes the focal point of our music, our TV, video games, and other entertainment. A writer for Vice said, "No idea comes from thin air. Everything is inspired by something that came before it. But culture in all of its many facets, whether you're looking at film or TV or music or whatever, used to be better at being inspired by something and then spinning it off in a whole new creative direction. Over the past 10 years, it feels like we've just been recycling things one for one, exactly the way they used to be, because we can't think of anything better." And for starters, with music, you might not realize it, but nostalgia bait is actually pretty prevalent. I actually covered this in a video before, but it's so interesting to me I wanted to talk about it a little more. And what I want to talk about in specific is interpolation. Interpolation is using a melody or portions of a melody, often with modified lyrics, from a previously recorded song, but re-recording the melody instead of directly sampling. It's both important to note and interesting that you have to re-record it for it to be an interpolation. So the melody can be the same, the music just has to be changed in one way or another. So you can interpolate vocal melodies melodies, instrumental melodies, or both. It's different from sampling because sampling is reusing a portion of a song. This is recreating it with changes. And lots of artists have been using interpolation and sampling to nostalgia bait. A great example is when Jack Harlow sampled Fergie's Glamorous on his song First Class and used it for the hook. Or when Meghan Trainor used Mr. Sandman for her song Mother and did it in the intro as well as the post hook. Ava Max is probably one of the biggest culprits of this, and you've probably heard one of her songs. She is a huge artist, and she's best known for making songs that interpolate
Huge artist, but I never heard of her.
Previous hit songs. For example, this is her 2024 track Whatever with over 500 million streams on Spotify. And this is Shakira's song Whenever, Wherever from 2001.
I heard of Shakira though. Never heard of that first lady.
Yeah, so the inspiration is pretty blatant. There's plenty more like this, but it feels like artists such as Jack Harlow, Meghan Trainor, or Ava Max are taking advantage of the nostalgia trends in pop culture.
I got nothing against like finding inspiration in things and, you know what I'm saying, being motivated to do something because you've seen somebody else do it or you heard somebody else do it and you're just like really intrigued by it, so you want to try it yourself. But at one point in time, gang, when do we just call it stealing? like at one point in time, like you're literally swagger jacking. Like that shit. Like I'm all for. That's why I kind of like samples over the inner politician, whatever this nigga just said. I like sampling because when you sample something, it's just like you're kind of just taking it. You're taking a portion or a fraction of something, and then you're just like, okay. This is the inspiration. This is why I made this song, as opposed to making an entire song and just changing the lyrics or changing a few tempos, and it's just like you just stole. You pretty much without because sampling, you got to give credit. You know what I'm saying? Songs won't be cleared or labels can't clear songs if you don't give credit to the artist that you sampled their song. You know what I'm saying? But if you was to just go through and fucking redo the entire song. But you keep the format the same, but you just change some words, you change the tempos and stuff like that. And then you a lot of people do that, and then they don't even give credit. It's like you just point blank stole without stealing.
Sure. There's definitely a difference between these sorts of interpolations and more thoughtful ones like Hell of a Life by Kanye. And if you think I'm a conspiracy theorist here, I'm not, because the music industry is actively trying to profit from past hits and interpolation. Companies like Primary Wave and Hypnosis Songs Fund have been buying up the publishing rights to past hit songs from their songwriters. On the flip side, artists themselves that have had old hit songs have been pushing for newer artists to recycle their tracks. The president of Primary Wave said that he is the one who encouraged Doja Cat's team to release the viral track Freak, which interpolates a Primary Wave artist song, Put Your Head on My Shoulder by Paul Anka. The company acquired the rights to Put Your Head on My Shoulder, then pushed for that remix to be officially released. Clearly, they know what they're doing and they know how to make money from these past hits. On top of this, over the past few years, songwriters, producers, and publishing rights owners have started writing camps. Writing camps in and of themselves are nothing new, but these new camps are directly asking for the songs to be written with interpolations. Then once the new songs that interpolate old songs are written, they are sold to artists throughout the industry, which is crazy to think about the fact that there are songwriting camps where they're trying to, instead of create something new, just recreate something old and then use the nostalgia and hope it sells.
But my thing like with that is just like I get it though. I get it. Is anything ever really new? Like I'm one to believe that there is no such thing as true originality, because from the moment you're born, you're molded and shaped and you know what I'm saying, created to essentially adopt the traits, beliefs, the actions of the people around you, the people that you grow up around, the people that are literally placed in your life to teach you shit. Like, you're not an original being because you're literally doing the things that people that fucking raised you taught you to do. Like, so when you apply that logic to like a lot of things, it's hard for me to think that or blame the world for not being as original as it should be or original as it could be, when in reality, like, nothing is really ever really truly original. Nothing is ever really truly authentic. You know what I'm saying? Like, nothing is really new. Now there's obviously there's new creations, I want to say, every day. Now, are those creations popular? It depends on the world. If the world decides that it can be popular, it'll be popular. But a lot of the shit that's popular, a lot of the shit that's in demand, a lot of the shit that sells, a lot of the shit that grows on algorithms, the shit that you've seen before, it's just prepackaged. It's just prepackaged to fit the modern time, to fit the modern lingo, the modern setting, so that it can be more relatable to the modern person that's coming up in today's society. That's
Interpolation, though, is nothing new, and it can be a good thing, don't get me wrong. This trend may be a little annoying in music, but I think the nostalgia trend is much more obnoxious and prevalent in TV. Movies are actually the #1 trigger for nostalgia, with 71% of consumers saying they feel nostalgic for movies, and 60%.
I don't like this. This percentage to me is not real. I don't understand how movies can create more. Well, obviously, because a movie can literally say, you can create a movie in today's time, but say this movie takes place in 2020. And then that automatically takes you back to, oh, where was I at in 2020? The pandemic. And then you start thinking, maybe that's true. Maybe that's accurate. But I would like to believe that music is more impactful to nostalgia than anything, because if you really like a song, you really resonate with a song, you really love music, or you love the song that you hear, you could almost remember where you were at when you first heard that song. I don't know, maybe it's just me. Maybe that's just me, but a lot of the songs that I really love, that I really enjoy, that I fucking have in my playlist, that I probably have fucking downloaded from 2012 and it's still in my Apple Music to this day, I can tell you the time and place of where I was at when I listened to the music, where I was at when I heard it, what was I doing, the smell in the air, the time on the clock. Like, I can tell you these things vividly depending on how much I like the song.
% for TV shows. I think one of the best, most recent examples of this is Marvel bringing back Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. to their new Avengers movie. Rather than fully trying to build hype from new characters, they're using the hype from the already tried and true, and some fans aren't happy about that. A bunch of Disney films made decades ago, Mulan, Beauty and the Beast, Lady and the Tramp, etc., have been remade to be live action or realistic animation, and there are many more in the works too. For audiences, it's an opportunity to look back at stories associated with their childhood, but with a more contemporary and inclusive look. And as I'm sure you guys are aware, big studios are milking this. We're on Jumanji 4, or Toy Story 5, or there's a Men in Black reboot, or all the new Star Wars movies. I mean, they even just made another Jurassic Park movie, Jurassic World Rebirth. Now,
I'm not gonna lie, and it's I'm confused because it's like my brain can't fathom who is watching this shit. Like, the first time I ever watched any of the Jumanji movies with fucking Kevin Hart and The Rock, I was on an airplane. Gang, I did not have a choice. I was in the air for 3 to 4 hours, and I had some time to kill. That was the only time that I ever seen the Jumanji movie. I've never heard nobody talk about these movies. I never heard about these movies fucking breaking box office. I never heard about anybody advocating for, like, this is a movie that you need to go see. Nobody. But somehow we fucking landed on 4 versions of it. We got 4 different versions of the Jumanji movie because why? A lot of these movies don't even be good. So I don't even understand where the nostalgia aspect comes with these newer movies. I don't.
I'm not saying that all of these are bad. I haven't seen half of them. And expanding on old ideas can be good. But it feels like the movie theater or TV guides these days are riddled with reboots and remakes. We just got another Fantastic Four, which, to be fair, I think was pretty good. There was that
I still ain't even see that shit yet.
Ghostbusters reboot. And honestly, every superhero movie for like big heroes, like The Flash, Batman, or Superman has been done so many times. It's unreal. And for TV in 2019, the most streamed shows were The Office, Grey's Anatomy, and Friends, all of which are shows from the 2000s or 90s.
And that's because every show that they create, that they come up with today, fucking sucks. It's terrible. It's terrible. Like, TV in general is dying because people aren't making anything that's worth watching. That's why everybody would rather just go back and watch reboots of shows that came out back then, because one, the quality of it was better. The not having societal pressures to fucking put woke shit in it was better. Like, that's why I watch cartoons like Family Guy and South Park. I love them shits because they're not afraid to push the boundaries on what television should be and could be and what it used to be. Like, that's just I don't know. And it's just like, I don't see how these companies aren't seeing it. Like, this is why these streaming services is fucking breaking the bank to try to buy these older shows to have them on their platforms, because they know that's what the people really want to see. Like a large population that really heavily indulge in TV and movies and shit like that, they're not watching the new shit. We're rewatching the old shit.
Which kind of goes to show that a lot of the new stuff they're putting out just doesn't compete with the old stuff, which I guess can make sense when they're rebooting shows like iCarly or Wizards of Waverly Place. They're also doing a Malcolm in the Middle reboot. But why are all of these old successful hit shows and movies being remade? Well, the answer is pretty obvious. It's the safe thing to do. According to Creative Review, at its most cynical, it is used as a marketing ploy by commissioners and studios to revive worlds that already have a built-in audience and revert to the safety of formulas that they know will make them lots of money.
And I think this is where the harmfulness, and I'm gonna end it here after this because we already at 30 minutes, but this is where I think the harmfulness comes in at fucking like nostalgia baiting and shit like that. Like, nostalgia baiting is harmful because you're taking something from the past. Like, you're playing with people's memories, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people have good memories when they think of iCarly, when they think of Wizards of Waverly Place, when they think of fucking Malcolm in the Middle, all these old shows that they're bringing back, and they're not even doing it like accurate justice because maybe you can't even get the full cast. Maybe the main character has aged like horribly. Like, I feel as though you're digging in the bag of the past, and you're spitting in the face of the people that enjoyed that time period. Maybe that's a little extreme, maybe that's over the top, but maybe that's just how I feel about it. You know what I'm saying? It's just a lot of things back then, you should leave them as nostalgia, because if you bring them back, you're potentially ruining the chance of ruining a nostalgic era. Like, Call of Duty did some shit like that, where it's like a lot of people are just like coming to a conclusion where it's like, maybe these maps that y'all bringing back aren't as nostalgic. Maybe these guns that y'all bringing back aren't as nostalgic. They don't fit today's theme. They don't fit today's gameplay style or shit like that. Like, yeah. Moral of the story is, I feel as though we should leave nostalgic things nostalgic for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Bring them back periodically, but if you're going to bring them back how they were. You know what I'm saying? So people can have that blast in the past, can have that glimpse back in how they could think back to, in 2016, I was bumping Uzi on a bus to school. You know what I'm saying? I was living, I was thriving. I had no worries. I had no bills. I had no kids. You know what I'm saying? I was happy. It's your boy, RushMoreRick. If you enjoyed the reaction video, leave a like, comment, subscribe. We out of here. Deuces.